Hello and welcome. If you are preparing for your life, health, or property and casualty exam, you likely feel the pressure. This isn't just a test, it's the gateway to your new career. We have analyzed expert advice, including insights from the Texas Insurance Training Academy, to compile a comprehensive guide on passing on your first attempt. We aren't just talking about what to study, but how to study. So put away the highlighter for a moment and let's talk strategy. The first hurdle is mental. Many candidates approach this like a high school history test, memorizing dates and definitions. That is a trap. The insurance exam is designed to test application, not just memory. You won't just be asked, "What is a deductible?" You will be given a scenario. John has a $500 deductible and a $2,000 loss. How much does the insurer pay? You need to shift your mindset from memorization to conceptual understanding. If you can explain the concept to a 5-year-old, you are ready. If you can only recite the definition, you are at risk. Let's talk about your study timeline. One of the most common reasons for failure is the cram and jam method. The human brain needs time to encode complex regulatory information. Experts recommend a consistent study schedule over 2 to 3 weeks rather than 3 days of marathon sessions. You want to aim for the learning curve sweet spot, studying enough every day to retain it, but not so much that you burn out. If you try to learn the entire Texas insurance code in one night, you will confuse your grace periods with your reinstatement periods. Most insurance exams are divided into two sections, the general knowledge portion and the state law portion. This is where many students trip up. The general portion covers universal concepts like insurable interest or indemnity. The state portion, however, is specific to where you live, Texas, California, Florida, etc. This section is full of minutia. Dollar amounts, specific day counts for notices and fines. Do not neglect this. You can ace the general section and fail the exam because you didn't know the specific fine for a cease and desist order in your state. Taking practice exams is non-negotiable, but most people do it wrong. They take a practice test, memorize the answer key, and then get a false sense of security when they score 100% on the second try. That is dangerous. The actual exam will not have the exact same questions. Use practice exams to diagnose your weak concepts. If you miss a question on variable life insurance, don't just memorize the right answer. Go back to your textbook and reread that entire chapter. You should be aiming for a consistent 85% or higher on fresh practice exams before you schedule the real thing. The exam writers love to test your reading comprehension as much as your insurance knowledge. You must watch out for key qualifiers, words like always, never, except, and not. A classic exam question format is, all of the following are true regarding whole life insurance except. If you miss that one word, you will look for the first true statement, select it, and get it wrong. Slow down. Read the full question, then read every answer choice before making a selection. Often there are two answers that look correct, but one is more correct. When you encounter a tough question, and you will, don't panic. Use the process of elimination. Usually in a 4-option multiple choice question, 2 answers are obviously wrong or completely unrelated. Identify those and mentally cross them out. Now you have a 50-50 chance. At this point, trust your gut. Your first instinct is often based on subconscious recognition of the material. If you can't decide, mark it for review and move on. Do not spend 10 minutes staring at one question. It destroys your momentum and time management. Let's dig deeper into a specific linguistic trap, the double negative. You might see a question phrasing like, which of the following is not excluded? This is a convoluted way of asking, what is covered? These mental gymnastics can cause fatigue. When you see a double negative, pause and rephrase the question in your head to simple English. If the question asks, which of these is not a non-forfeiture option? Translate that to, which of these is a non-forfeiture option? Simplifying the language prevents silly errors. Now, let's talk about the day of the battle. Your brain consumes a massive amount of glucose when concentrating. Don't go in on an empty stomach, but don't eat a heavy meal that makes you sluggish. Arrive at the testing center at least 30 minutes early. If you are late, they often won't let you in, and you forfeit your fee. Also, remember, there is no penalty for guessing. If you have 10 seconds left and 3 unanswered questions, just pick B for all of them. Leaving them blank guarantees a 0. Guessing gives you a 25% shot. Finally, manage your biology. Exam anxiety is real. If you feel your heart racing, close your eyes for 10 seconds and take a deep box breath. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4. This resets your nervous system. Also, understand that the first few questions might seem incredibly hard. This is sometimes just nerves, or sometimes they are pre-test experimental questions that don't even count toward your score. Don't let a hard start derail your confidence. Stay calm and keep moving. Passing the insurance license exam on the first try is absolutely possible, but it requires respecting the process. It requires understanding the concepts, not just memorizing the words. It requires discipline in your study schedule and strategy in the testing booth. Remember, this exam is a safety filter to protect the public. Prove that you know enough to be a professional. You've got this. If you found these tips helpful, please hit that like button. It helps the channel immensely. And if you have a specific question about a tricky insurance concept, drop it in the comments below. We might cover it in the next video. Good luck with your exam, and we will see you in the next one.